The moon hung low over the hills of Nyamkra village, casting an eerie glow over the land. It was the night of the moon festival, a time when the villagers gathered to celebrate the harvest and honor the spirits of the forest. Laughter and music filled the air as people danced around the great baobab tree at the center of the village. But the joyous atmosphere was shattered when a scream pierced the night. All eyes turned to the forest edge, where Mama Wanja, the village's oldest woman, stumbled into the clearing. Her face was pale with terror, her frail hands trembling as she pointed back toward the trees. "They have returned," she whispered, collapsing to the ground. The crowd fell silent. Even the children stopped their play, sensing the weight of her words. One of the elders, Bwana Karani, stepped forward. "What have you seen, Mama Wanja?" he asked. "The spirits," she rasped. "They are angry. They have come to punish us." Before she could explain further, Mama Wanja let out a final breath and fell still. The villagers stood frozen in shock. The elders exchanged worried glances. For generations, tales had been told of the forest spirits who guarded the treasures of the land. It was said that those who disrespected the spirits or took what was not theirs would face their wrath. But no one could have known that Mama Wanja's death was only the beginning. The next morning, a young woman named Aking gave birth to a baby boy. The midwives who assisted her gasped in unison when they saw the child. His gums were lined with tiny golden teeth that sparkled like the sun. Aking, too exhausted to notice their reactions, asked, "What is it?" One of the midwives hesitated before replying, "Your son. His teeth. They are made of gold." Aking's heart raced as she took the baby in her arms. His tiny golden teeth glimmered in the morning light. Before she could respond, one of the midwives collapsed to the ground. She was dead before anyone could help her. The other midwives fled in terror, leaving Aking alone with her newborn. As she cradled her son, she couldn't shake the feeling that his golden teeth were connected to Mama Wanja's ominous warning. By midday, news of the baby with golden teeth spread throughout Nyamkra. The elders called an emergency meeting, summoning Aking and her child. As she walked through the village, people whispered and pointed. Some stared in awe, others in fear. When Aking arrived at the chief's hut, the elders examined the baby from a safe distance. Bwana Karani was the first to speak. "This is not a blessing," he said grimly. "It is a curse from the spirits." Another elder, Mama Nyokobi, added, "The spirits are angry. This child is their messenger. We must appease them before it's too late." Aking clutched her son protectively. "He is just a baby," she protested. But the elders were unmoved. "The deaths are proof," Mama Nyokobi said. "Anyone who sees his teeth dies. This child is a danger to us all." The meeting ended in uncertainty, but fear and greed began to spread like wildfire. The next day, a group of young men led by a hunter named Mwendwa approached Aking's hut. They claimed they wanted to help, but their true intentions soon became clear. "We can end this curse," Mwendwa said, his voice steady. "If we take the golden teeth, the spirits will be appeased, and the deaths will stop." Aking shook her head vehemently. "You will not touch my son," she said. But Mwendwa and his men were not easily deterred. Under the cover of night, they broke into Aking's hut while she slept. They restrained her and tried to force the baby's mouth open to remove his teeth. The moment they saw the glimmer of gold, screams filled the air. One by one, the men collapsed, their lifeless bodies piling on the floor. The remaining villagers who heard the commotion rushed to the scene, only to find Aking sobbing over her child, surrounded by the dead. Despite the horrifying deaths, greed still consumed some villagers. A traveling merchant named Omondi arrived in Nyamkara shortly after hearing rumors of the golden teeth. Omondi, known for his love of wealth, saw the child as an opportunity to grow his fortune. "I will take the child to the city," Omondi said, addressing the elders. "The gold in his teeth will make us all rich." Though some elders protested, others, swayed by greed, allowed Omondi to take the child. Aking fought desperately to keep her son, but she was outnumbered. As Omondi carried the baby away, the villagers watched in silence. But Omondi did not make it far. By the time he reached the edge of the forest, he collapsed, his body stiff and cold. The baby, unharmed, was returned to Aking, but the village was left in turmoil. The final act of greed came from within the council of elders. Mama Nyokobi, who had initially spoken against the baby, began plotting to sell the child's teeth in secret. Late one night, she entered Aching's hut, carrying a knife. She leaned over the sleeping baby and whispered, "Forgive me, little one, but your teeth will save us all." The moment she touched the child, an unseen force threw her across the room. Aching woke to the sound of Nyokobi's screams, only to see the elder writhing on the ground. Within minutes, she was dead. The villagers finally realized that the deaths were not random. They were punishment for their greed and disrespect for the spirit's test. A young herbalist named Kamau, known for his wisdom and bravery, stepped forward. "I will go to the forest," Kamau said. "I will seek the spirits and ask them what we must do to save our village." The elders, humbled by their failures, agreed. Kamau carried offerings of herbs, honey, and water as he ventured into the forbidden forest. When Kamau reached the heart of the forest, he found a clearing with a golden pool at its center. Kneeling by the pool, he called out, "Spirits of the forest, I seek your wisdom. Why have you sent the baby with golden teeth? How can we make amends?" The air grew heavy, and a voice echoed through the clearing. "Your people have failed the test," it said. "The child was born to teach you humility and love, but instead, you acted out of greed and fear." Kamau bowed his head. "Forgive us, great spirits. Tell me how we can make things right." "Protect the child," the voice commanded. "Treat him with love and kindness. Only then will the curse be lifted." Kamau returned to Nyamkara with the spirit's message. The villagers, shamed by their actions, vowed to change. They stopped calling Baraka a curse and began treating him as one of their own. Slowly, the deaths ceased, and the village found peace. Baraka grew up surrounded by love and care, his golden teeth hidden behind a cloth. The villagers no longer feared him, seeing him instead as a symbol of their redemption. The story of Baraka, the baby with golden teeth, became a legend, a cautionary tale of greed and the power of love. Moral lessons from the baby with golden teeth. 1. Greed leads to destruction. The villagers' desire to exploit Baraka's golden teeth for wealth led to tragic consequences. Their greed blinded them to his humanity, causing unnecessary deaths. The story teaches that valuing material wealth over life and integrity leads to ruin. 2. Fear of the unknown breeds injustice. The villagers' fear of Baraka's mysterious golden teeth caused them to act irrationally, labeling an innocent baby as a curse. This highlights how fear can cloud judgment, leading people to harm what they do not understand. Courage and open-mindedness are essential when facing the unknown. 3. Judging without understanding is dangerous. The villagers quickly judged Baraka based on his appearance and the mysterious deaths, without seeking the truth. The story warns against making hasty judgments based on superficial observations or fear-driven assumptions. 4. The power of compassion and protection. Kamau's courage and Aching's unwavering love for her child show the transformative power of compassion. When the villagers chose to protect rather than harm Baraka, the curse was lifted. This teaches that empathy, kindness, and unity can heal even the deepest divides. 5. Respect for the spiritual and the natural world. The villagers' disrespect for the spirits and the forest led to their suffering. The story emphasizes the importance of honoring traditions, respecting nature, and understanding the consequences of exploiting sacred or natural resources. 6. True wealth lies in community, not gold. While Baraka's golden teeth symbolized material wealth, the true treasure was the lesson the villagers learned: community, love, and integrity are far more valuable than gold. 7. The innocence of children should be protected. Despite being just a baby, Baraka became the target of fear and greed. The story serves as a reminder that children are innocent and should be protected, nurtured, and loved, regardless of circumstances that may surround them. 8. Redemption is possible through change. Though the villagers made grave mistakes driven by fear and greed, they found redemption by changing their ways, protecting Baraka, and embracing love over fear. The story shows that it's never too late to correct wrongs and seek forgiveness. These lessons deeply reflect African cultural values, emphasizing the importance of community, reverence for nature, and the belief that true wealth lies in strong relationships and moral integrity, rather than material possessions acquired through deceit and greed. The end.